really curious about this infinite pixels in CSS. This is like a new a keyword in CSS called infinite. I'm pretty sure, yeah, or infinity. It's a new keyword called infinity. And I was actually just kind of curious about it because what would that even be useful for? Why would you need an infinity in CSS? Because if you say infinite width, that means wouldn't your scroll bar just would scroll on forever in this case? Why is it a fun trick? I'm kind of curious just to walk through this really quick, just to I don't want to go all the way in, but I do want to try it out, and I wanted to test it, and just see what it looks like. So in this case, we don't have to go too greedy. Infinity keyword div calc infinity. So this is infinite width and height. So it's a div in this case that has infinite dimensions in both directions. Well, I mean, all the way over to that direction, up and down and left and right, essentially. So why would you even need that? Like, do they answer that in here? Why? I can't hazard a guess as to why this sort of value would be limited. Oh, okay. So when they do the calculation, I'm reading here, when they do this calculation, it's saying these element sizes in this table. So it says the browser says 33 million, same for Chrome, but Firefox is a different number. Wait. So it's either 19 divided, it's 17 million? I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure. Or 8 million. Not totally. It's not obvious what's going on here. Because 24-bit values. Interesting. Maybe that's what, because in CSS, you don't really need anything more than 24-bit value in terms of like color or numbers, because from a layout perspective, you only have a finite canvas. You have a finite canvas. And so there's no real reason in this case to leverage it. Let's take a look at see where our progress is on our MCP server really quick. While we're waiting for it to be done, what we're going to do is we're just reading through this article on CSS because it's impractical. They've got this weird impractical keyword called infinity, and I have no idea what we're going to do with it. Like, what would you ever need this for? You wouldn't never need this for anything. And so, but I wanted to try it out. So actually, what we could do is we could try it out right here on this page. So let's give it a shot. So we can say width infinity and height infinity. I really want to do this. So you see how there's like this box right here, this CSS box, and it's kind of hard to, you see the CSS box. Let's make infinite. Let's turn this CSS box into infinite width and height. See what happens. So you just right click and click inspect element, and then it will open up here your dev console. And this is a pre-element. So what we can do is we can change the width and height to infinity. So right now it's only 351 pixels. Hey, Lorax. Hi, it's good to see you, Lorax. Lorax the best. 89. We're doing a couple things here. One, we're testing out we're showing how to use and install an MCP server into Claude. And while we wait for Claude, we are testing out the infinity keyword in CSS. And we're just about to do that. What happens? So here's what I'm really curious about. What will happen when we turn this CSS box into infinity? If we actually make it, because right now it's finite, right? It's got a clear width and height, right? So it's 351 by 137. So, finite. But let's make it infinite. Let's turn it infinite. So we can add, I think there's a way to add. Yeah, so width. Let's do width, and then we say calc, C-A-C-L-C, infinity times. It's my sister's birthday. Oh, sweet. Happy birthday. That's amazing. Happy birthday. Congratulations for your birthday. Other work. Hey, how's it going, other work? We're doing a couple things here. We're playing with Claude Code and installing an MCP server and using it. And now we're about to find out. We're a few keystrokes away on the keyboard from finding out what happens when we use the infinity keyword in CSS. I imagine it's just gonna pop out. So this box this box here is it's gonna explode. 1px and enter. It did it. It okay. It's scrolling. It's scrolling. You can barely. It just made it. It's not infinite. It doesn't. I mean, it's really long. It's really long now. So it worked. It's not infinite, but it's impractically large. Like you would never, ever need to do this for any reason else. Maybe unless you wanted to hide some information somewhere here. So you'd have to scroll and you'd scroll forever and ever and you'd never be able to find it. There's no point to that because that information is available in the source code. So you could just find it in the source code. So there's no point. Oh, when we did that, we turned all of these boxes into infinite. So they all scroll over for infinity. Well, it looks like here. So actually it says, what is this? This is 55 million pixels. So that's what it did. It turned it into 55 million pixels. What if we also say infinite height? What's it going to do that? Is it going to do anything? I don't know. Let's find out. I'm kind of curious. HEIGHT, calc infinity times 1 pixel. Go. Oh, it didn't like that. Why? Specifies height. Height calc infinity times 1 pixel. Did we get it wrong? Did we type it wrong? Is this wrong? Specifies the height of the content area padding or border depending on box sizing of certain boxes. Height. Is this wrong? It looks correct to me. This appears like it's incorrect. Calc infinity times 1 pixel. It's not working for height, but it worked perfectly fine for width. That is, what if say min height? It's not an error. Oh no, it is an error. It really doesn't like that, does it? Here, let's find out. I really want to do infinite height. We need to make it happen. I want an infinite height. It's impractical. It's completely impractical. There's no purpose for it whatsoever, but I need it. I need it to happen. Okay. I might have typed it wrong. Okay. So I typoed. Okay, here we go. We did it. It is now infinite. And oh, yep. It's too big now. It's too big. You can't do it. See, look, it's so big. I can scroll, and it just pushes everything down so far that it just blows out. It just blows out the model. Okay, so that's what it does. This is what the impracticality of infinite is. See, this is why we need finite things, so we can measure it. So it is now a box that is 55 million or almost 56 million pixels. Is it? Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, so it's 5.6 million pixels wide and 5.6 million pixels tall. There you go. That's what the infinity keyword, where you can use the infinity keyword. I don't know what you'd use it for, but we just used it, and it basically gives you near, and it's not totally infinite. Obviously, it's not infinite at all, but it's close enough, because if you went any further, it wouldn't matter. If they made that number bigger, it wouldn't matter because it would still just be too big in the first place. So let's clean that up. Okay. I'm just curious, right before we go back to the MCP server, is there any practicality in this, or if there's anything else here? Font size? What's it going to do with font size, Calc Infinity? What is it going to do with font size, Calc Infinity? Okay. See, it was worth scrolling, wasn't it? What happens if you add infinity margins and padding? Okay, let's do that one first. Okay, I like Jay Looney. Good idea. Let's do it. What happens when we calc infinity for margins and padding? Okay, here we go. We're going to do it. All right, we're going to make it happen. All right, so we're going to add. So this is pre. All right, I believe. Let's double check that we're in the right spot. Okay, here. It's got to be this. All right. Here we go. Let's do it. All right. So margin, calc infinity. Boom. It just exploded is all it did. It exploded. It's become completely useless now. It is no longer of use. Okay. Yeah. Yep. So it scrolled all the way. Let's see if we can. I want to see if we can find anything. Yeah, I can't see anything. The margins being infinite, it hides everything. All right, let's do padding. It probably will do the same thing. I'm curious. Let's try it real quick. Let's do padding infinity. Jay Looney, good idea. Inspect. Okay. So we'll do pre-class and let's do padding. Okay. Lorax, the best. My cousin wants to say hi. Oh, hello. Hi, how's it going? We are currently playing with Infinity in CSS, and we're going to try it out on padding right now because Jay Looney said, let's try it on padding. All right, here we go. Padding. Boom. Okay. It makes sense that it did the same thing. Almost nearly the same thing. So now the padding, you look at that. Isn't that cool? Look at this. I don't know if you can see that well on the screen, but the padding it's not quite infinity, but it is essentially infinite. It's an impractically large number, which is what infinity is in the first place. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 5.59 million pixels in padding to the left, right, top, and bottom. So it basically exploded everything. That was neat. What else can we use infinity on? I really wanted to try font size. It's probably it probably is going to make it so big that we won't even be able to see any letters at all because the letters will be so. It's so cool. Yeah, Lorax. It is. It's really neat. It is so neat. I don't know. I'm excited about it. I have no use for it. I have absolutely no practical use for this whatsoever. But let's check it out. I'm really curious. So I want to, on this, the then I loaded the, I want to see what that looks like when it's infinite size. Let's see what that looks like when it's infinite size. Let's see here. Let's zoom out a little bit so I can understand. All right, so we've got our text. Okay, here we go. So we know we've got the right thing. Here we go. Font size. Are we ready for this? Are we ready? Jay Looney, I'm impressed the rendering engine is actually drawing it in 0 seconds. Yeah. Because it's such a giant number and it has to render it. Isn't that crazy? It is. It's super fast. It's impressive, the rendering engine and the performance speed. I believe Jay Looney, a lot of that is credit to, WebKit rendering engine with GPU acceleration, I think. It's impressive that it can do that, right? That's a really good observation. Hadn't considered that. All right, here we go. We're going to try infinite. It might not do it quickly. This one might take a while to load, but we'll find out this time. Here we go. Calc infinity. Boom. Okay. Off it went. Where's Who knows what this is? Who recognizes what this is right here? Do you recognize what this is? It's try not to blast the monitor. It basically blasted the monitor just about. But can you see what this is right here? Right, this thing right here? Do you know what that is? Chat, do you see what this is? It is all my hopes and dreams. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. I'm very happy about this. It is very satisfying. This is, here, I'll give you more hints. All right, let's scroll around so you can see what this is. So you can see, we're scrolling up and down. Yep, this looks like a letter to me. It looks like a very big letter. Here, let's close this here so we can see it a little bit better. All right, it's a very big letter. Who can guess what this letter is? Actually, it is slightly easier to see when you zoom out. I can't zoom out any further. It won't let me zoom out any further. But here we go. So we've got what looks like the letter I. Is there? Oh, it's only gonna go up and down. Okay, I C. Is there more? Or here we've got a W, an H, an E, and an N. All right, we got one word. Isn't it? It's just very neat. It's very completely useless. Like you don't need this for any purpose whatsoever. But this CSS Infinity keyword is very satisfying. It made my day. I very much appreciate this. This was great. This CSS Infinity. I was super curious to give it a try. What else? I don't know if there's anything else that would be more interesting to try it on. Just real quick, if we tried one more thing with CSS Infinity, and then we'll jump back to the MCP server. I think that'll be the plan. What else? There's some other things in here. We did margin. We did padding. We did font size. Line height. I can kind of see that would be neat. It just changes the space. Jay Looney, so the font cap is a lot less than 15 million pixels or whatever. Yeah, it is. You're right. Like, what's the actual size? Like, what is the rendered number? Like, what is the calculated number? So it's definitely much less than millions, because it looks like it's some thousands. There's like an upper limit clearly, because we can see some of the letters pretty easily after we zoomed way out. But yeah, I'm kind of curious. What is, because infinity means something different in context, or because the different settings have different limits. Yeah, I think that's what it is, Jay Looney, is it has different limits on the different input values. So font size has an upper cap, like the max size of the fonts. Let's see, max font size CSS. What is it? The upper limit. What is the upper limit? I'm curious to see. No, what? I need to ask the AI a little bit more. Upper limit max size. I don't know if I can make that any clearer. CSS does not have an inherent imposed upper limit on the font size. It clearly does, because we set it to infinity and it didn't go to infinity. It went to some other value. So what is the absolute maximum largest font size? What is it? I'm just curious. What is the absolute maximum largest font size in CSS that you can have in terms of pixels? Let's see what it says here. Let's see. Technically, there is no limitation, which makes sense, but wait, here we go. We got some answers. All right. Let's zoom in on this. We got some answers. The maximum font size that you can have in different browsers, because the browser, it really does have to implement a practical limitation of some sort. Different browsers have varying upper limits on font sizes. Yeah, we found out just now because we used the infinity keyword. In 2010, Firefox had a practical limit around 20,000 pixels, which is more than you need. You really don't need more than 20,000 pixel font size. But Chrome, WebKit, and Safari, they think 20,000 is not enough. 20,000 pixels is nowhere near enough. They think 1,000,000 pixels is enough. They think you don't need any more than 1,000,000, which they were right. You definitely do not need more than 1,000,000 pixel font size, but you also don't need any bigger than 20,000 pixels. There's no use for that. Older versions of Opera were known to limit CSS values to a 16-bit signed integer, which is also fine. 32,000 pixels, that's more than enough. It doesn't. One letter wouldn't even fit onto the screen. Like, you wouldn't even be able to fit that onto a screen. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Saya Bonga, hi, how's it going? Hiya. Hiya, Saya. It's good to see you. We're currently understanding the limitations of CSS when it comes to font size, because we're using the keyword, the infinity keyword, and we made some very big font using infinity, and it made very big font, but you definitely can say that it's not infinite, it's finite. And we were curious, is there a limit? Yes, there is a real practical limit. But Jay Looney, I wonder, is anyone abusing 1,000,000 pixel fonts for some actual technical reason, right? Is there any real practical or technical reason that you would want to have font size at 1,000,000 pixels? Now, there's a couple of, let's brainstorm for a second. Let's brainstorm. So you do want to, you have a font, it rasterizes, and in general, letters and specific fonts will rasterize pixel perfect for the most part. So what you can do is you can draw some interesting things on the screen with very big letters, like the letter O, right? Or, for example, as a circle, you can make a very big, very nicely rendered, like anti-aliased O, like the letter O, and it can do that really fast. One of the first things that computers did that helped us interact with them was print text on the screen. That was like in the 70s or, maybe even earlier than that. Guess what? We're in 2025 now. We've gotten really good at rasterizing fonts and text on the screen. And so from a practical standpoint, technically, you could render a very large circle extremely efficiently with beautiful anti-aliasing with a very large font size. So that could be one. And then you can use overlapping things. So like layer all of these different shapes onto each other. So you've got these curvy things like an S, and you've got these O's, and you've got numbers. And so you could probably draw something pretty interesting with a very small amount of instructions provided to the browser, right? So you say very big pixel size of the font, and then you say CSS, and then you say letter spacing, and then you can specifically letter space everything together to build. It's doable, and it would run really fast. It would display beautifully from a technical perspective because it would rasterize phenomenally well. And it would just be a tiny little file that has just a very little bit of instructions in it, right? A little bit of CSS and then a little bit of text to basically draw whatever you wanted to draw. But once you've done that, it's that's the only thing I can think of. Really, I can't really think of anything else. It does say that you do want some larger font size. So there's some practical accessibility things here. Extremely large font sizes can hinder readability. Wait. Extremely large fonts can hinder readability. Yeah, that makes sense because it disappears from the screen, especially with for anyone, but especially for visually impaired. I thought this was going to be the opposite. Isn't this going to be the opposite? If you have very large font on the screen, you should be able to see it better. So the bigger the font, the easier it is to see. I don't know. I guess they could just zoom in, which is what we're doing here. Okay, so we kind of had fun with CSS here, and so we probably want to jump back to the MCP server just to see where we're at. And so that's what that's about. Okay, so we finished up here. We looked through our CSS letters that are set to infinity, and you can barely read them, and that was fun. Oh wait, we got a question from Jay Looney here. Sparkly R. Yeah, it's amazing. It's just amazing. All right. So we finished with the CSS Infinity. We're going back here. We made the letters very big and a lot of, F. Yep. So fun, Octothorpe. And then it says TRI trick. Fun trick. Yeah, it's a fun trick. There's no practical use for unlimited font size, right? Infinite font size is what we did, right? So if we inspect the element, we made it infinite. And there's no reason for it.